It was supposed to be a perfect evening. Fairy lights strung across the small restaurant courtyard, soft music floating through the air, and laughter echoing from nearby tables. But as the clock ticked toward 9 p.m., Lily sat alone, her heart sinking with every passing second. The man she had been texting for 2 months had finally agreed to meet her in person. She wore her favorite cream-colored dress, the one her sister said made her look like hope wrapped in fabric. But when he finally walked in, tall, sharp, with the kind of confidence that made people turn, his first words weren't "hi" or "you look beautiful." He smirked, pulled out the chair, and said the words that would echo in her heart for weeks to come. "You're not date material." Lily froze. She didn't even know what to say. Her mind blurred, her pulse raced. He wasn't joking. His eyes flicked across her plain outfit, her minimal makeup, her worn-out shoes. "You seem nice," he continued carelessly, "but you're not what I'm looking for. You give off single mother vibes or something." Then he laughed, like it was funny, like it didn't break something inside her. She didn't reply. She just smiled weakly, stood up, and walked out. Her eyes stinging, but her head held high. She didn't want him to see her cry. She didn't want anyone to. But as she reached her car, the tears came anyway. Quiet, painful, unstoppable. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, in love that sees beyond the surface, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Because stories like this remind us that sometimes the people we underestimate the most carry the most beautiful hearts. Lily drove home in silence that night, her fingers trembling on the steering wheel. She was 31, a nurse at a children's hospital, someone who gave her all every day to heal others, but forgot how to heal herself. She wasn't rich or glamorous or effortlessly beautiful like the women she saw on dating apps. She was ordinary, in the truest, most honest way. And yet, it hurt to be told she wasn't date material. Her best friend Clara called her the next morning. "Forget him," Clara said. "He's shallow." "You deserve better." Lily laughed softly. She had heard that line before, too many times, from too many people who didn't see the loneliness behind her smile. The truth was, she had given up on the idea of love years ago. She was tired of pretending that rejection didn't sting, that she was okay being alone. A week later, the hospital held a charity event, a small fundraiser for the children's cancer ward. Lily volunteered, arranging tables, setting up chairs, making sure everything was perfect. That's when she met Daniel. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with kind blue eyes and an easy smile that felt like sunlight on a winter morning. He had come with his little daughter, Mia, a 7-year-old with pigtails and the brightest laugh Lily had ever heard. Daniel was a single dad, and you could tell by the way he carried himself. Protective, patient, gentle in every movement around his daughter. When Lily helped Mia with her cupcake decorating, Daniel had simply stood back, watching with quiet gratitude in his eyes. That night, when the event ended and everyone was cleaning up, Mia ran up to Lily and handed her a cupcake. "For you," she said. "Daddy says you have the kindest eyes." Lily laughed, a blush warming her cheeks. Daniel smiled softly. "I hope she didn't embarrass you," he said. "She's honest." "She's wonderful," Lily replied. And in that small, ordinary moment, something in her heart shifted. Over the next few weeks, Daniel and Lily kept running into each other. Sometimes at the hospital, sometimes at the park, sometimes by coincidence that didn't feel like coincidence anymore. He'd bring coffee for her during her long shifts. She'd bring coloring books for Mia. They talked about work, life, loss, and how it felt to be misunderstood. Daniel had lost his wife 5 years ago in a car accident. Since then, he had raised Mia on his own, working as a construction engineer during the day and reading bedtime stories at night. He wasn't rich, but he was steady. He wasn't smooth with words, but everything he said came from a place of truth. Lily never planned to fall for him, but she did. Not all at once, but in quiet moments. The way he looked at his daughter, the way he listened when she spoke, the way he never made her feel like she wasn't enough. One evening, when the sun was setting over the park, Daniel sat beside her on a bench while Mia chased butterflies nearby. "You know," he said, looking at her with that calm, steady gaze, "when I first met you, I thought you were one of those people who hide their pain behind kindness. But now I see. Your kindness is your strength." Lily didn't reply. Her throat tightened. No one had ever said something like that to her. Then he smiled. "And for the record," he added softly, "whoever told you you're not date material was blind. You're not date material, Lily. You're marriage material." Her heart stopped for a moment. The world went quiet. The kind of quiet that feels like healing. But love stories, even the beautiful ones, rarely come without storms. Rumors started spreading at the hospital. A few nurses whispered that Lily was chasing a single dad to find stability. Someone even mentioned seeing her begging for attention at the fundraiser. It was cruel, and it hurt more than she wanted to admit. When Daniel heard about it, he was furious, but Lily told him to let it go. "I'm used to it," she said, forcing a smile. "People always find reasons to judge." But that night, she cried quietly again. She wasn't crying for what they said. She was crying because she didn't know if she was strong enough to keep going through life, always having to prove she was enough. Days turned into weeks, and Lily started pulling away. Not because she didn't care, but because she cared too much. She didn't want to burden Daniel or make Mia's life complicated. She stopped answering texts, stopped visiting the park. She told herself it was for the best. Then, one cold evening, after a long hospital shift, she found Daniel waiting outside by her car, holding a bouquet of daisies. Her favorite flowers. His eyes looked tired, but determined. "You don't get to disappear like that," he said softly. "Not when my daughter asks every night why her favorite nurse doesn't come to the park anymore. And not when He paused, swallowing hard. "Not when I was just starting to believe that maybe I could love again." Lily's voice trembled. "Daniel, people are talking. They think I don't care what they think," he interrupted gently. "Let them talk. You don't owe them your happiness. You've spent too long giving your heart to everyone else. It's time someone took care of yours." She looked at him, tears glistening under the soft streetlight. In that moment, she realized something she hadn't understood before. Kindness isn't weakness, it's courage. And maybe, just maybe, she deserved to be loved for the heart she never stopped protecting others with. Months passed. Spring bloomed. Daniel proposed not with grandeur but with simplicity. In the hospital garden where they first met, with Mia holding a hand-drawn sign that said, "Will you marry my daddy?" Lily cried, laughed, and said yes. At their small wedding, surrounded by friends, Daniel held her hand and whispered, "You were never meant to be someone's date, Lily. You were meant to be someone's home." And she smiled, not because it was perfect, but because it was real. When people later asked how they met, Lily would always laugh softly and say, "He didn't fall in love with me because I was perfect. He fell in love because I was real, and that was enough." She still remembered those cruel words from that first blind date. But now, they no longer hurt. Because sometimes, it takes one person's rejection to lead you to another person's forever. If this story touched your heart, if you believe love can heal, that kindness still matters, and that being real is enough, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps spread hope to someone who might just need it today. And before you go, Tell us in the comments. Have you ever been judged for being not enough, only to realize you were more than enough all along? Because sometimes the right person doesn't just see your worth, they remind you of it.